Now I might get this videotape finished. I've been interrupted by it for about 6 or 7 times. CPAP Barner today, and I'm here to talk about the latest ad campaign by Getup. I have never seen such a bunch of sooks in all my life. They're complaining about the media today, criticising Getup's latest ad campaign, which is just advertised on Australian TV and the media, which features Michael Caton and Cate Blanschete, who are advising us Australian taxpayers to accept carbon taxation in the, yes, carbon tax idea. Now, the media came out and had a go at it, as the media does. This is what the media is supposed to do, is to alert Australians about different things, including politics and ad campaigns like what Getup is doing. This is called democracy. This is what the Australian media is expected to do, to alert the Australian voters and taxpayers about situations like Getup's campaign. Now we've got Cate Blanschete flying over from the United States, I presume, flying over from the United States, advocating this Getup campaign and saying we should, as Australian taxpayers and voters, pay more on taxation, i.e. carbon taxation, or carbon pricing if you want to call it that. And we've got Michael Caton, Uncle Harry from the Sullivan days. Boy, has he gotten fat. Saying, you should do this. Well, funny enough, I just don't take much notice of celebrities telling me I should have to pay more tax. Especially a celebrity like Cate Blanschete, who earns a possible $50 million a year. And this is in the United States she's earning it. So she's paying tax there in the United States. And she's telling me, as an Australian taxpayer on a hell of a lot less than $50 million, that I have to pay more taxes. Oh, thank you very much, Cate. I really appreciate that. We got Julia Gillard going around saying we're going to tax 1,000 polluters. And no mention the fact that those 1,000 polluters include fuel companies, coal mines, electricity generation and so forth. And I, as a consumer at the end of the line, are going to have to pay extra and a tax for carbon taxation. Yeah, I really love these people that come along and tell me that I have to pay more tax on a theory that hasn't been proved in the second place or the first place, and that's global warming or climate change. We had Julia Gillard running around saying, that every single climatologist agrees 100% that it's man-made global warming and CO2, and yet that was a lie. Because a quick check on different websites with different climatologists and so forth you will find that no, not all scientists agree with the so-called science. And so the so-called science is not in, according to Julia Gillard. The science is still being debated, but she says that the debate is closed and now it's all downhill, and we've got to put Russia in this carbon pricing and carbon taxation and ETSs. The fact remains that she didn't even agree with ETS in the first place when Kevin Rudd was Prime Minister. And the fact remains that prior to the last federal election in August, that she and Wayne Swan both stood up there in front of the cameras and said, no government I lead will introduce carbon taxation. As soon as she got her 71 seats in Parliament, she formed a rainbow coalition with 2 independents who are supposedly Conservative independents, and 2 Greens And the Greens and her under Bob Brown and herself signed this coalition, and now suddenly we've got carbon taxation on the agenda. It's supposed to be looked at by the 1st of July and be brought in by the 1st of July 2012. You like my carbon stick? Now, I'm not naive to believe that politicians don't lie. I don't believe that politicians do actually tell the truth, to be honest. But when you tell a blatant, outright lie and expect it to be taken as the truth later on, that's beyond the pale. That's beyond any reasonable doubt completely. We had 140 prominent Australians get up today and hand a petition to Combie in favour of carbon trading or carbon taxation. And one of them said he used to be a Liberal, but he said, I'm an Australian first and a Liberal last. Well, hang on. When has it been Australian or an attitude of Australia to accept lying as a truth? I don't remember that being part of the vernacular of Australia, that we accepted lying suddenly as a truth. We never have. I don't seem to remember any of that. I don't seem to remember seeing that having to pay extra taxes or more taxation is an Australian patriotic thing to be doing. I don't seem to remember seeing that in the Australian Constitution. I don't remember seeing that anywhere in Australia, that paying more taxes, like carbon taxation, is patriotic. I already pay my taxes and I pay my fair share of taxes. But somehow I'm supposed to pay more taxes to feel more patriotic. I don't see that. I'm sorry, I'm just one of those persons that look at governments who bleat these sort of ideas as, oh, if you pay more taxes, you should feel more patriotic. Sorry, I don't. I just see that as government interference into my lifestyle a bit more than I want them to be, and taxing me for the privilege. But the bottom line is, how can you be an Australian and accept a lie that Gillard told, that Swan told? Now 140 Australians have signed up to the same lie. Getup gets all sooky and the Greens get all upset because they're being scrutinised more by the Australian media. Oh, God and Bennett. I'm tired of this, people. I am tired of this so-called party-affiliated governments and so forth, like the Greens and the Labor Party, saying to me that, one, you shouldn't criticise what we're doing. You shouldn't scrutinise our policies, from everything from carbon taxation to illegal immigration. Why shouldn't I, as an Australian voter, citizen and also taxpayer, have that right to criticise this government and to hold this government accountable to me and other Australians as an Australian taxpayer voter? Are they kidding? Don't they know the word democracy? It is we the people, we the Australian voter and taxpayer, will hold this government accountable and any other government accountable for its actions. And any organisation like Getup, the same. We will hold Getup accountable for its actions. And if they don't like it, then I suggest they look in a dictionary and find out the word democracy and what it actually means. And if you don't like being scrutinised by the Australian public and voters and taxpayers, hard luck. And if Cate Blanschete doesn't like being criticised, Well, hard luck. If Michael Caton doesn't like being criticised, well, hard luck. You come out and make a political statement, you are going to be scrutinised. You will also be, in some cases, crucified for it. And this is the right of Australians to ask questions. Bye now.